When did you start acting?
2010 or 11.
What made you?
You know, I was like, I only wanted to do stand-up.
Right,
I
so
really
did
wanted
I.
to do stand-up.
I just wanted to do stand-up.
And an agent had said they wanted me to do commercials. Someone had been like, you should try commercials. You're a redhead. That's great. They need like some people that look different. You should come out. So I tried to do a couple of commercials, and then I got one. I did like a Mike's Hard Lemonade commercial, and it ran like crazy, and it paid me. It paid me. And you know, the agent was like, why wouldn't you try to go, you want to try to do acting jobs, like real jobs? You want to be an actor? And I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to be good at it, or I don't know. I didn't know, you know? I also didn't know if that was, I was like, that's not viable. You know, as silly as it was, I was like, I'm going to make a living doing comedy, even though that was fucking insane, but I just knew it. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. And I went out for a few different things, like a hosting job. I got a hosting job doing something. And I beat out all these guys that like had hosted before for MSN, for Microsoft's homepage. And I did it for like a year and a half, and it was fucking phenomenal. I didn't love it, but it was phenomenal money, and it got me to quit my day job. Because I was working a day job. I had to fucking work this shitty day job just to get by, because I wasn't making... I was working in the music industry, helping bands get visas to get overseas. It was crazy interesting. It was total on accident. I don't even know how I got it. A friend of a friend maybe set me up. But I would get assigned a band, and I'd have to do all their paperwork to travel the world. And I did Public Enemy, which was amazing because I got to meet him. He came in. These local guys named Dilated People's a hip-hop group. Then I did we did Macy Gray and what is their fucking name? It's a band that they rap and they rap. Whatever. Anyway, I did a bunch of different bands, and I was just doing like paperwork. I was a paper pusher all day long. Paper pusher. And this hosting thing got me to quit. And after I did the hosting thing, this is actually a wild story. My first job was Punk'd on MTV. I did Punk'd. And what happened was this girl was fucking my roommate. And she was like, oh, you're really funny. I seen you one time go up at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room. And I was like, oh, thanks. And she goes, you know, I work for this manager, and one of his clients is looking for writers for a Comedy Central show. And I was like, I'd love to throw my hat in the ring, you know? And she's like, let me find out. I got an email, and they were like, send us all these bits tonight or come in tomorrow morning. I said, I'll write all night. I can't send you. I don't have anything tonight. So I wrote all night long. I went into their office the next day, and it turned out to be Ashton Kutcher and his partner, this guy Jason Goldberg, who did Punk together. And they were looking for someone to write this new show for this black guy named Al Shear. And I wrote a bunch of bits, and they loved him. And they were like, are you repped? And I was like, no, man. I'm me. I wrote this on my friend's computer, you know? And they were like, well, we want you to do this job. And I was like, yeah. And they offered me like no money. And I was like, great. I get to write on a thing? Yeah. When do you start? Today. You're here now. So I started working on this thing. And in the middle of it, they told me they were going to bring back Punk'd. And I started to run the show at that point, this pilot. I was doing everything for them, producing it, writing it. And he was like, we're bringing back Punk'd, and we want you to write it and be on it. And fucking that was like my first job. And after I did Punk'd, then I got some interest from like CAA was like, do you want to try to actually like act and not do like hidden camera stuff? So I said, yeah, I tried. And then I fucking landed a pilot. I landed this pilot that we got one season out of called Mixology on ABC. It was like the first series I ever did. And it was all because it was probably because I didn't know shit about acting. Because I was just being me and just having a good time. They were like, just be loose and fuck around. He threw the words away. He was like, just do it. And the two guys that wrote it were the guys that wrote The Hangover, John Lucas and Scott Moore. They wrote the original Hangover. And they were like, we just want you to be you and fuck off. We didn't want, you know. That was my first like entry into the acting world, was doing that show. And then after that, it was like I fell in love with it, man. I was like, I love doing it. You know, like it'll never trump comedy for me ever. I always want to do stand up, but man, it's fun. When it's fun, it's fucking fun. When you get to work with fun people, and the rhythms are right, and the scene's moving fast, and everyone's popping, acting can be fucking really fun. it never will get the same feeling that comedy does, ever.
I love it.
I love it.